here.
And that was dope.
Well, this started on a unique, weird journey back on September the 9th, 2022, to where, in its humble beginnings, it was just a Zoom show. And looks like Derek has a celebratory bottle here. But nonetheless, from humble beginnings on Zoom to being in a nice, wonderful, fabulous studio to now coming across you on the platforms of StreamYard. But through it all, have you not been entertained? But nevertheless, welcome to episode number 100 of The Other Side of the Ball. I'm Double A, joined by, as always, by Mr. Chris Vera, joined by Sugarlight, the championship back-to-back owner, and our good buddy from the All Pro Jaffos, the one, the only, you know him, you love him. Which, by the way, please subscribe to the Premier Brothers production soundtrack or channel on YouTube, not soundtrack, but he does have his own soundtrack. And nonetheless, our good buddy Josh Brunella joining us. JP, as always, buddy, thank you for joining in and celebrating this milestone with us.
Absolutely. I heard 100 episode. I was like, ooh, gotta be part of that. Appreciate the invite.
I don't know that we could do it without you.
It was quite the.
Oh, don't say that, Derek. You could have definitely done it without me.
And to my co-host Mizzle, thank you.
So this virtual background shit looks like I'm drinking an insomnia.
Yep. Salute.
You are drinking some Wolf beer. As Chris has gone, it is weird to see Chris having a beer bottle in his hand as he is puffing on some Modelo. It's weird to see.
Yes.
But nevertheless,
very weird.
Now, obviously, I have not been here for all 100 episodes, but Derek, just how did we get here? How did you come up with this idea to come up with this entity that is the other side of the ball? Let's take it. Let's take a history lesson class.
All right, let's go in the Wayback Machine. So as we ended our first season of the A7FL in 2022 with the Force getting mollywopped by BIC, when we hit the off season, I mentioned in our owners group that we need an A7FL centric podcast, and I said I was going to start one. And before I got the idea out, I looked up, and Matt Ryan and the guys had already started the 3-on-1. So great minds think alike. Matt was thinking the same thing, same time. Got his guys rolling. So we're like, all right, shit, we don't need a podcast then. Until I heard theirs, and they didn't give Vegas or any division outside of New Jersey and Maryland any love whatsoever. When they talked about us, it was talking about how bad we were. For the most part. I mean, I say didn't give us any love. They gave us some love. So after about 14 weeks of 3-on-1 podcast, I was like, man, we need some representation. We need to do our own podcast. What are we going to call it? Reached out to Casey at the time, Casey Cox, whom we should get an invite to for this thing since he was the original moderator for this thing, and said, hey man, would you be interested to do a podcast? Of course, you know Casey, before I got this shit out, he had said yes 3 times and then repeated everything I said 4 times. So but the podcast was born. We started it on Zoom because that's the only way we knew how. We were recording it and then sending the audio to Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan was kind enough to take that audio and put it up onto Spotify and iTunes for us. And the Other Side of the Ball podcast was born. From there, it was me, Casey, Chris started joining in, Viking started joining in, and after Casey took a hiatus, we pulled Dub in and said, okay, this is what real moderating sounds like. We got a new podcast host. Dub was a guest on for about, I don't know what, Dub, 6 weeks before we made you the host? 8 weeks before we made you the host? Does that sound about right?
Hold on, because I'll backtrack and give you some history. I first came on, which was episode 31, which actually took place on 420 of all dates back in 2023.
Fuck yeah! Now,
Did
see,
that.
Josh, I told you the show does not go on
As
without you, bro.
So then that happened. So I came on to guest host on the 21st of June while Casey was out handling some business in Louisiana. And then since that June day, I've been hosting ever since. But as Derek previously mentioned, homage must be paid, respect must be given, and hopefully he will come on and join us. Because like I said, he was a part of a lot of episodes even before I got here, way even before I got involved in this league. So it's just only right and it's fair to give him his flowers, because we're all about giving flowers on this show, as we always tend to do, as we've now reached the magical milestone of number 100.
Did you send him the link?
Which, by the way, hi Mizzle, how are you? I did.
Did
It's
you
been
know
sent to
that
him.
Mizzle is actually African San Francisco for 100?
Again? I missed that. What was that?
Mizzle is actually translated from African San Francisco, and it means 100.
Oh, did not know that.
Well, no shit. I just made the shit up. Now you know.
Did you say that?
Thank you, Travis. Appreciate it.
Now
Yeah, African. It's like African American, but it's African San Franciscan.
You learn something
But
new every day.
nonetheless, we've had some very funny moments on this show. I can always pinpoint one of the best segments we ever had was the infamous one phone call to where Knox just went off on one particular caller, and I wish we had the doggone clip. But it was definitely funny, which took place actually before the week before this past season. But I mean, there's many funny moments. I wish the Viking was on, because it wouldn't be a show without the Vikings randoms, as only the Viking can give. But I'm pretty sure he is in a boat somewhere, probably fishing. But then we got the chance to collaborate with the All Pro Jaffos. As you see, Mr. JP is joining us, to which again we appreciate JP and all the coverage that he and the Jaffos have done for the A7. So JP, your thoughts on this wacky, crazy thing that is 100 episodes, as you and the Jaffos have been well past 100 yourselves.
I mean, it's obviously a very big milestone, a very exciting milestone, something that everyone should be proud of. Being essentially the one in the middle to witness both sides of the coin, the East Coast and the West Coast, how much, shit talking and stuff was going on with both sides was always fun to watch. It was always fun to be part of each show, and then getting everybody from each show and each conference on the show to kind of get more about it. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. We've had a lot of fun guests. We've made a lot of good friends, and we're just looking forward to watching this thing blow up even more than it already has. We know Pat McAfee was a little late, but I'll let it slide for now.
hey, better late than never.
I know.
So,
Chris,
Yes, sir.
your thoughts on this crazy accomplishment that is 100 episodes.
Well, my thoughts on it is, when Derek called me and asked me to do it, I'm like, well, is it a live show or are we doing this on, tape delay? I mean, can I swear? I was asking all kinds of questions because I didn't know. I didn't know what the
no,
hell
you can't. You can't fucking swear.
Okay, fuck. All right, I won't swear. So when that shit went down, and I was asking all the questions, it was like, well, dude, this sounds fun. I mean, love football. Love football to a very big piece. So, I mean, to be able to talk about football and not necessarily have a game going on is a little bit weird. I will admit I was a little taken back at first, but once we got things going, man, it's been a lot of fun to do. And yeah, there has been a lot of shit talking going back and forth between East Coast and West Coast. But I would be more than happy to bury that hatchet. Hopefully, not somebody's back, and kind of move forward with A7 as a whole, and really put this brotherhood piece into put it all together and really take A7 to the next level where I think.
Hey, Dub. So as the executive
All right,
producer, but not
Mizzle,
really a producer,
originally you
of the
watched
show,
this. Yes.
do you know what episode that was, or who we were talking to the day Knox went off on your favorite episode? Do you know who we were talking to? Because I'm pulling up the history right now, and maybe we'll be able to play that clip.
Hold on. Let me. I'll get back to you. Well, we thought it was Vanilla Vic's girlfriend, now ex.
Oh, yeah.
As,
So that
by
been,
the way,
been
you can
Jennifer
catch
Paul
this on the ball
Brothers, right?
on. No, it was literally the week before opening day.
Of this year.
So hold on. Let me see which episode of this year. Yes.
So it's 2024.
Yes. So it is. Yes. Hold on. Where is it? Going through archives, folks, because we really want to play that infamous clip.
Look, the rest of us can talk while this is going on. Shout out to Travis Gallardo, probably our most consistent fan, who says consistency is key. Thanks for being on here, brother. Really appreciate you being here almost every week, if not every week. You are one of the people who keeps this thing going, and the reason why we keep showing up. Besides,
we'd also like to say we appreciate all of our 855 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which again, we do have a YouTube page, which is the other side of the ball on YouTube. We appreciate the 855 subscribers that have subscribed to us. But before Derek was asking a question, Mizzle, you originally started this on the outside looking in, supporting your bald-headed, light-skinned brother, and now you've joined the family. So just your thoughts of when you first caught it in the beginning to now you being a part of this, your thoughts.
Well, I just like how it all, you guys, how bring it together, especially keeping it A7, but then you trickle off and talk about other sports. But to be a part of it is a privilege. I like to sit here and talk football with you guys. Or just sports, period. Just to sit here and shoot the shit and just talk whatever we feel about sports and stuff like that. So I like it. So say congratulations to the 100th episode and allowing me to be on here to take part of this.
You are a amazing fan and supporter before, and one of the greatest additions we've had to the other side of the ball platform. And dude, it's a pleasure to have. I want to call you short, but you're a lot taller. Like, you're short on TV, you're tall in person.
True statement.
I'd be forgetting that you're actually kind of tall and shit. So I was going to say you're short little ass, but
now, Derek,
Zelly, don't do that. Don't do that. There's only one fucking nation. Don't you do that.
Who? America,
right.
motherfucker?
So to answer your question, Derek, it is episode 76 when Knox goes in. Episode 76.
Oh, I got it here. All right, well, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna get this shit queued up.
All right, so we're gonna have a playback from episode 76, where one of the greatest segments in the other side of the ball history took place, to where Live with 25 decided to go ham when he found out who was calling. And on this particular episode, it was just myself, Knox, and Scotty, as Derek was on, or Chris was on assignment. And basically, that was the most talked about segment for a while, because they could not stop talking about it, which hopefully it will make you guys reminisce and laugh and take you back a little bit. But 100 episodes. Some things don't get to 100 episodes, so we are very appreciative and grateful that this podcast that you have come to know and watch and be entertained by has given you some good content, and God willing, keep it going forward as there have been some great accomplishments. This show is only 3 years old, but in those 3 years, we have seen this division now have become the cream of the crop in this league with the Insomniacs going back to back and winning the national championship. Of course, them running the table last year, going 12-0 in 2023 in that fantastic game against the Nightcrawlers. Sorry, Travis. And then this past July, down again in double digits. Danye Lyons making Scott McCorkle look like a genius as he predicted 2 weeks before the game that Danye would take one back to be the game winner, and he proved him right. And then, of course, Eric Schuffer Jr. just being the all-around talent that he is, sealing the back-to-back title with his interception off of a Sterry Cotterton heave and prayer, which the prayer was denied by Eric Schufert. So, obviously, coming into this Winter War, obviously coming into this next season in 2025 with the Insomniacs trying to do something that has not been done, which is three-peat. And Travis saying that it was a fun to be a part of that game regardless of the outcome. Certainly was one of the best games we've got to witness live. And just, I mean, as it was on the sideline in Bullhead City and as it was for most of the year at Matter Academy, just hearing the physicality on the field was certainly different. And of course, we do have some Insomniacs chiming in. Jeremy Reeves is saying three-peat coming soon. And Zelly is also going in. And folks, I do believe we have the clip. So folks, get ready to reminisce and go take a laugh at this. Check it out.
All right, so before we start it, this shit's long. So we will pause as we go and stop and comment and have a conversation about it because we just let this shit run for a while. It's going to take over the show and we might lose some folks. So let's be engaged and do this shit the right way. And with that, I give you Knox, the Viking, the other side of the ball, host, Dub Alvarez, episode 76, as we relive portions of our first 100 episodes. And Dub has dubbed this the funniest moment on the other side of the ball.
Positive, but nobody talks about the bullshit.
All right, caller, you are on the other side of the ball. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. And who do you have the pleasure of speaking
Look
with?
at Scotty's face. Hey, look.
How are you? This is Kendra Davidson, Ava King, this is Vanilla Vic.
All right, stop it already. Did you see Scotty's face when he saw that it was a girl? Like,
Pause.
he was like, "There's some ass." I'm ready. All right, my bad. Here we go.
Hey, man.
Oh,
So she
Jordan's
was going through his
I'm
window
excited
already.
for it.
Well, welcome,
Yeah, I'm
welcome
Jordan's
on.
girl.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome to the other side of the ball.
We were watching the podcast, and I was like, I'm going to call in and say what's up and hype up the hunters one time.
Well, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Right ahead.
The floor is mine. I'm really excited for them to play the Kryptonite on the 24th. I'll be out there in my red. I'm excited.
All right, real quick pause. You see in the comments, Tequila Queen says it sounds like a voice manipulator, like it was Jordan actually calling in as a woman. That's just wild.
Well, we can definitely hear the passion in your voice, and hopefully you will come out and have a good time.
Dub,
and,
come on.
Of course,
We
try
can hear the
to
passion
cheer
in
for your
your
team
voice.
and cheer for your man on to victory.
Let him have it, bro.
Trying to be a pro here, JP, okay? Knock it off.
Don't knock it off. Like, if we're going to have fun with this shit and enjoy ourselves, let this shit roll.
So,
Jordan done made some moves. Came out here, got him.
He got him a quarterback
quarterback
spot, a
spot.
girl.
Girl, he done
All
came
right,
the
man.
fuck up.
Hey, shout out to you,
Midwest
Jordan.
pimping out here.
Hey, ignore the man behind the curtain and how good the show used to look. Fuck that.
Up to you.
You know, well, he's switched like 3 teams since he's been here, but we're not going to
Oh,
talk
we
about
know.
that.
We've been paying attention.
well, he's definitely been promoting for
You
sure.
know,
I was gonna say if he
you
can make
know, he was there for
Oh, that's
He wore that free agent.
Hey, y'all motherfuckers freaked out when there was a beep. Like y'all forgot about three-way calling and shit.
I went to a couple of practices. It was cool.
They jumped.
They're like, I recognize that sound. What the fuck was that?
But I think the Hunters were the best fit for him because they actually wanted him to play quarterback. The last team he was playing with, the Gold, they wanted him to do wide receiver. And honestly, the fumbles I saw, he's better at the quarterback, honestly. I'm like, babe.
Oh, so he coughs up the ball. That's what you said. Puts the ball. He puts the pillow on the carpet.
She's throwing that man under the bus.
As smooth as it needed to be, not to call him out, but I mean, the position you play, you know.
Say he fumbled the bag.
Well, I mean, there's no better criticism or teaching to get than from the one
I'm a
that you
stupid
live
score
with.
type of guy. Better not put it down.
You better stop.
I don't stop.
So I'm very excited.
Hey, you're gonna be waiting for him, motherfucker.
I'm just joking.
He said, "Yeah, Viking."
So I'm gonna get your ass.
Yeah, rush me.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm dead.
Hey, is this also the day that Knox debuted the Only Dads beanie?
It might be.
Dub's on a 17-second delay again, so
Might be.
It's submission after.
But no. Whoa.
What happened?
ADP, this the dude that came from. This ain't the dude that came from Ohio, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man, lady, get off the phone. All right,
My bad.
hold on. I just caught on to what the hell was going on. All right. First off, your man, everybody's gonna put him on his ass. All right. Some shit is gonna happen to that man. Respectfully, pause. You know what I'm saying? Within the game itself, he dug this hole himself.
He's only 100.
And we don't give a shit. Excuse my language. But his mouth was like he was like 240. Okay, when you guys was like way across the pond, when y'all was way across the pond, everything was smooth. Okay, he was posting and sharing and all that. Yeah.
I was waiting for Knox to say
what?
something.
Bro, I just
I'm over here looking.
I looked at this shit and I
you
said,
just not going.
what? Hold on. This is
You're
the
not
dude
gonna
who
say
wanted to
nothing?
make it the battle of the sins, but you came over to this sin? Stay your ass over there with that sin.
I mean, the sin.
Wasn't he with the chaos or some
Nah.
shit? Who's he with?
Wanted to play with the big dogs.
No,
He was on the chaos.
He was with the chaos, right?
Correct.
Yeah, nah, he can't play with us. He can't play with us.
He can't play with you?
Hell no. Hell no.
Going to.
He can. I mean, because he paid his registration and he's a part of the league, but in real, no.
Oh boy.
No.
I love this.
I'm mad. Look, I'm gonna keep real. He's gonna watch this shit back and be mad you called in.
Like, how shocked were we that this girl called on his behalf? Like, don't get me wrong. I like Jordan's commentary. His game is weak. Him as a podcaster / personality is fun. He's wild and has some hot takes, but as a player, he just has not showed up ever. And to have his new girl that he found in Vegas call in on his behalf, that's some wild shit right there. My wife don't even call the show to defend me.
She didn't even defend him. She threw him under the bus.
Probably because I don't need it, but
she threw him under the bus. She said he fumbled the whole time. Like, she didn't defend him.
that's a good point. I think she was trolling for some Scotty.
Well,
Oh shit! Hey, look who joined
Which,
the
by
show.
the way, which, by the way, welcome to 5. Good to see you, buddy.
What's going on?
How you feel about
I
dropping
gotta
the show
leave
and hearing yourself talk, dog? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? What's
This is
going
what we
on?
got to do to get you back on the show.
No, look, I meant to be here a few episodes ago, man, but
Life be life.
I'm here. I just want to say, watching that clip, I seem like an asshole. Okay, I don't seem like I'm good for
Nah,
you know,
to be honest, back
positive
then
and
you
healthy
was.
relationships and shit.
100%.
But it was the fact that she said that
I mean-
we were watching the podcast, which meant
Right.
he was right by her and said absolutely nothing. Like, that was crazy.
So Dub,
So,
Dub,
folks,
is there
we
more
are
we need to let roll on this,
reminiscing.
or do we want to get on some other stuff?
Oh, I want to see it.
We
How
can get
long
on
does
some
he?
other
How long does he go on her?
I want to know how it ends. All right,
well-
here we go.
Hell no. Hell no. We
Oh,
don't
my.
like him. He could have came in.
don't like
If he
him?
would have came in as been as humble as he, you got to, lady. Respectfully, it's nothing against you. All respects to you. I don't want to seem like I'm disrespecting. My bad. But what, Jordan? Man, take him back home. Take him back home. Take him back home. Tuck his ass in and tell him not to come out on against the Kryptonite too. That's gonna make
I
Coach
don't
look
know. I
good.
think they're going to be pretty good at
Nah,
scrimmage. I
nah.
think they're going to be pretty solid.
The Cryptic Kings are definitely finna whoop the Hunter's ass.
The cryptic called the kryptonite.
Yeah, the Cryptic Kings, because you know
Cryptic Kings, they were
the
kings.
Kryptonite, but not
Now they're the king.
Cryptic Kings.
I
You
like
know
that.
what? Win or lose, that's still my man.
Fuck
so.
no. I mean, I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect
love
that.
Stand by your, stand by your man. I
but
respect
what?
it. God bless it.
Jordan, Jordan, you should have called in. Not
Get
your
a fat
lady.
head. Get a fat head of him.
You
Please.
should have called.
That is classic. That's classic.
Hey, shout out to Pia in the chat for popping in saying happy 100th, and she loved this episode. She's having a call back like, I remember this shit. My man was on fire.
Called in, Jordan, not your
Darren
lady.
Palmer got fat heads.
I know he's sitting by you.
That's
Can he talk?
He's not by me. I'm by myself.
Oh, see.
He let
You
you
can't
call
trust
in
her.
here when you by
You
yourself.
can't trust her.
But
You
she
called
said
in.
we.
Jordan.
And we were watching the episode, so in what extent did he disapprove?
Pretend to know what's happening when I
Yeah,
go
so
to a
when
game.
you see
So I
him,
actually
when
just
you see
checked
him
it.
against a dog team, and you see him you just know that he may have said some stuff to some people, and they gonna remember that.
Oh, okay.
Just
Well,
tell him
I
to
mean,
stay his
do
ass
that
off for
then.
3-on-1.
Butt naked booty scoots.
Tell him to stay his ass off for 3-on-1. Stay at quarterback.
Stay a quarter. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
that wide receiver position was not looking that great. So I'm
Nah,
glad that he's
yeah,
playing
he
QB
gotta know how to
for-
block. He don't know how to block. We seen his film. He
He's
tried
so
to
big,
post it.
too.
He got ran
Yeah,
over. He
so-
got yeah. I hope y'all was watching
Well,
film the whole flight.
I'm looking forward to the game.
The Insomniacs are week 2 against Jordan. Yeah, don't come to that game.
He just talks shit.
Don't come to that game.
Yeah.
You
Don't
playing
come
that
to the
game?
game because I'll be crying.
Oh
I'm healthy.
shit! Don't plop.
I'm healthy.
You better not pop a blue chew.
Hey man, look, I'm taking 2 blue chew and a twisted tea. It's
You
popping.
better not pop a blue chew.
I'm telling you.
If this man next to me pops a blue chew, lady, it's over. Okay.
We gonna get it popping.
I'm just saying
goodness
that
gracious.
shit is wild. What
Get
the
it
fuck?
popping then.
Look, she,
Oh boy.
Quan, you gotta hang up.
Quan,
She gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
She's saying
she
too much.
really about to get in trouble.
She's in.
I'm trying to talk to the host.
Well, it's 3 of them. Which one?
I really like your guys' podcast a lot.
Okay.
You guys are informative. You're funny. You do a good job communicating.
I'm pretty too.
You
Don't
have
forget
good
that part.
guests,
Okay, Muhammad Ali.
And you're pretty. I like your
Know that.
gender. I like my white boys.
I know.
Well, just
I'm a little different though. I'm a little
though.
different though.
just for the record,
Yeah.
Scotty is
as
Asgardian. 5'9" is 5'9". I am just a Blaxican that can't tan.
I don't need a
not a
tan.
black-
Wait, you're hitting on the host, but you got a boyfriend that plays in the league?
Now
Hey, man,
5'9"
look,
has
it'd be
involved
like that,
himself.
Yep.
Because I think she's trying to cause some drama.
She got my boy
It's okay.
Viking
I don't
over
think
here.
she likes her dude.
I don't think she's seen
trying
the
to get him
film.
hurt.
She's seen the film. That's why they came to the real Sin City.
Are you trying to break up with him on the show?
Sound like it.
on the low? You think so?
Them.
I mean,
Maybe, I don't know.
she does watch you every Wednesday.
Jordan, you are
Scott.
not the
Maybe,
father.
I don't know.
Ah!
Trying to
Stop it.
upgrade you.
Stop
She
it.
watches you
Trying
every
to
Wednesday,
upgrade
Scott.
you.
No, all jokes aside, that's
Mm.
my baby. I just wanted to call and
He's your
support
baby.
No, that
That's
was
a
a
baby.
joke.
It's 3 grown men sitting right here though.
I'm taking.
Oh, yeah, okay. 2
Shout
grown
out to
men
Miss-
sitting right here.
Shout out to Pierre.
And one
Marie.
married.
you.
Yeah. We don't do Caucasians.
I love when I
You
hear
don't do
that.
Caucasians?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about me and my wife. We don't
Oh
do
yeah.
Caucasians.
No. Understand. I get it now.
No.
It just clicked.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm a little slow.
Miss Kendra,
You're gonna
we
get me in
appreciate the
trouble.
time, my
I'm
dear.
excluded from this conversation.
We appreciate the time and we appreciate you being a supporter of this podcast
She's
and the
a
league. We
supporter of
appreciate it.
Scott. She's not a
Gang, gang.
supporter of the league. Hey, she flew across the pond to get the
That's why
Scott.
the
What
booming
the
heavens
fuck?
roar across the rainbow bridge of Asgard.
On the A7FL Football Wives.
Oh, shit.
That would get some ratings.
What
I'm just,
the fuck is going on?
I'm just saying.
They should do that. Listen, I
I'm
can
just
film
saying.
it.
Lifetime, if you want to,
This is crazy.
get in on them. I'm just saying.
This is crazy.
Man,
I feel
like,
like
Wow,
we just,
look how happy Scott
Life
is
is
with the
wild.
girl hitting on him on the
Hey,
show.
Scotty is turning red.
he is matching his shirt. Tell me
Yes,
he's
he
not.
is. Yes,
Tell
he
me he's
is.
not matching
He's
his
matching
shirt.
dub shirt.
From the face to the
Yeah.
beard to the fucking
Everything.
shirt, he's
Just
red.
one color. It's all one color. It's because blood is just rushing everywhere.
Uh-oh. She's
Whoa.
still watching Scott. She's still watching.
She's
The
on
second she told me-
onlydads.com
the second
right
she
now.
said to pop that blue chew,
That is crazy.
bananas.
That was crazy.
Bananas.
But
That's
what?
not.
But what if that was just foreplay for them?
Yeah,
You better stop it right now.
they don't pick the right bull.
Oh shit! Grab that bull by the horns.
Oh, baby.
Jordan, we're sorry this happened to you.
So there's like A7FL adult content after
Yeah.
dark.
Shout out to Only Dads.
Wait, hold on.
It's your
hold
fault for wearing
Hold on,
OnlyDads.
hold on,
and,
hold on.
and my phone
Hold on,
died.
hold
I
on.
can't even check the message.
CJ Heem, you was wrong for that comment right
Yeah.
You wrong for that one. And no, what?
Oh,
Read
yeah.
CJ.
I can't. My phone died.
Okay.
yeah,
So
don't say-
CJ,
How's your phone die with phone chargers
read it.
everywhere?
Oh
though?
shit!
you read it for yourself.
Yo,
Yep.
CJ, stop it. Stop it right
That's
now.
crazy. That is wild.
yo.
Oh,
I feel like
Lord.
we just witnessed the episode of Cheaters. What the? That's crazy.
Hey, like we said,
Oh, God.
Knox 25 has never been a loss for words.
Mm.
I like my ginger.
Yo, he's-
What?
That's crazy.
Any last
Oh, my
words?
God.
That's what you said, right? I had to hear that through the lap. Any last words?
No, I was saying.
Oh shit. Okay,
I
my
was,
bad.
I was saying Knox 25 has never been a loss for words, and they're
Yeah.
today. But go ahead and leave some of your final thoughts. Which again, thank you again for coming in and being a guest panelist. The door is always open, my guy. Appreciate you.
Well, we need to make this a thing, though. So Knox needs to come back.
All right. So as you can see, folks, that was from episode number 76, to where 2-5 just decided to just go in and go full ham, and turn into one of our funniest segments ever in the history of the show. To the angry Cowboys fan, thank you and happy birthday to you, and hopefully the next chapter is the best chapter yet. Happy birthday to you, and hopefully your family and your loved ones will spoil the heck out of you on this your day as you take another trip around the sun. So happy birthday to the angry Cowboys fan. That was a lot to take. 2-5, I'll start with you. Just you just went full in, bro. You really went full in.
It was one of those where it took me a second to catch on to what the fuck was going on, because I really hadn't been in the loop, I guess, on what was going on in the groups and shit. You feel me? But I always knew the name. And I remember certain shit where, he posted his little highlights and shit like that. So I may have went and checked him out or whatever. And I was like, ew. And then I want to say this, listening to the last bit of it, this was my first, I would say, episode as a table broadcaster type, you know what I'm saying? That actually being at the table.
Panelist.
Yeah, so, and then I'm pretty sure me and Scott was drinking or doing some shit to where we was enjoying ourselves, and it was good times.
Nice.
Yes, they were. And also, special thanks to Quan59 for allowing us to use his studio for many, 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 many fun, memorable episodes at the Gorilla Cross Studios, which shout out to him. We appreciate that. But like I said, 100 episodes of The Other Side of the Ball. Of course, this started back here in September of 2022, and now here we are in August of 2023, celebrating um, this this milestone. All right, well, Chris is trying to get back in as a technology is being technology, but nonetheless, welcome, folks. You got Dub, you got Mizzle from the Mizzle and Dub Show, and you got Live with 2-5 back in the saddle. We also got JP from the All Pro Jaffos joining us to celebrate this accomplishment of 100 episodes. We are glad that you are tuning in and joining us and helping us celebrate this fantastic milestone as we discuss things and talk things all A7FL. I also want to send a shout out to Creative Brothers Productions, to where if you have not seen the Winter Clash video, it is currently up on the A7FL Nevada page. If you haven't seen it, please go do yourself a service and watch it. And also, please, if you're into that stuff, if you're into editing and video photography, videos, editing, all that stuff, please get with Creative Brothers Productions, as they are looking for some people to help them work. These are very, very, very talented individuals, and they love what they do. So we appreciate Creative Bros Productions with their contributions to here in the A7FL. Once again, I'm Double A. Welcome to episode number 100 of The Other Side of the Ball. As we were just reminiscing of episode 76, where Knox was giving his own philosophical statement on one type situation, and the Viking from Asgard turned red as the bright crimson polo shirt that he was wearing on that particular episode in episode 96, as we took a trip back down memory lane to laugh and just reminisce, as once again we are celebrating episode number 100 of The Other Side of the Ball, talking all things A7FL Nevada. It is an interesting journey of how we got here. Didn't think I'd be a part of a podcast that would reach 100 episodes, but like I said, JP is well over 200 episodes, and then Mizzle and I just completed our latest edition of the Mizzle Dub Show, and we're over 230 in. So anything
like at what,
is possible.
277?
If you find us entertaining, if you find us enjoyable, we appreciate that. No, I think we're close to. No, I think we're in the 240s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but for sure, we are well over 200. I know the Jaffos are well over 200, for sure. But like I said, we just appreciate everybody chiming in and hanging out with us. Again, we appreciate the Angry Cowboys fan. We appreciate Denzel Daniels and Mr. Reeves chiming in. We also appreciate Travis always chiming in, watching us from the other side, the other coast and the East Coast. We appreciate our East Coast brethren coming on this show and blessing our airwaves, and we appreciate the guys in Ohio and in the Midwest coming on here and also joining us. We also appreciate Mr. Forgot his doggone name. Mr. Ojeda, Mr. Luis Ojeda from the ranks, who helped put the combine together in Biloxi. We appreciate him for being a guest on this show. Zelly, we love you back, brother. We appreciate you chiming in and watching us. So we appreciate you too.
Right back at you, Zelly. Just not your Broncos.
That's gonna go back and forth, but no, we just appreciate all the guests that we've ever had that has come on the show and has blessed us and just talk about their love for football, their love for this league that is the A7FL. Of course, just coming off the title game back, hard to believe it was only a month ago that all that happened, and I think Chris has, yes, he has. Mr. has once again rejoined us as technology decides it wants to act right now. So welcome back, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, some stuff just doesn't want to act right.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time. Again, welcome. This is Dub, joined by Chris, joined by Live with 25, and joined by Mizzle of the Mizzle Dub Show, and also joined by JP, Josh Pinelli, Pro Japos. Hoping to have some more guests come on and help us celebrate this tremendous accomplishment as we are celebrating 100 episodes of the other side of the ball. As we are taking a trip down memory lane, as again, episode 1 took place back on September the 9th of 2022. Say that again, Chris.
I said, shout out to
All
the
right.
Angry Cowboys fan.
Yes.
I only say that because I watch his podcast.
Oh, do you? Nice. The Angry Podcast fan. All right. So
I haven't been on, so I couldn't say that earlier.
All right. Well, go ahead and get your shout out in. Derek may or may not be back as he is attending to some business right now, so hopefully he'll rejoin us. But if not, definitely want to thank Derek Duncan for his idea and his vision of putting this show together and putting this podcast together, and of course, giving us all the opportunity to showcase our gifts and showcase our talents. So, boss, if you don't come back on this show tonight, I definitely want to say thank you, and we appreciate all that you do. And the sky is the limit, as they say here in this in this world. But Chris, I guess if you've had, you've had some moments on the show. What would be a favorite moment for you in this particular on this particular journey to 100 episodes?
Tell you what, one of my, and it's not a favorite show. I think what it was a favorite series of shows, and that is when we had some of the guys on from the Insomniacs first championship, because it was so special and it was done in Bullhead, and a lot of us were able to go to that game and watch it. So that was a very special set of episodes, having the different players on and talking about it, because you can see the pride that was put forth by those gentlemen to first off win the ship, but secondly, to bring that trophy home and to do it back to back. My hat's off to them, and I hope that they can be the first to three-peat.
Now, that would be some interesting stuff, that if they were to three-peat before a Super Bowl champion or a team to win 3 straight Super Bowls, that would be quite the accomplishment, because as we know, it hasn't happened in the league with pads. But if they were to do that, which would again put them at a tie with the Patterson U, because as it stands right now, the Patterson U has the most with 3, and then the Insomniacs and the BIC are right there with 2. If they were to do that, and to put them in a tie with the Patterson U, of course, who has been a long established pillar of this league, what would that say about this division being the first to do it, in a sense, in their fourth season? Because considering that we just got done completing our 3rd season of being a division in this league, and 2 of those 3 years, the championship has held residency here in Las Vegas. What would that mean? What would that mean for this division if that was to happen?
You keep
Another
freezing,
championship in Vegas.
But I think what you're saying is, for the seasons that we have gone through. All right, got everybody back.
One can hope.
You froze.
Yeah, everything froze up for a second. I think we're all back.
Nah, Mizzle, you good?
Did Dub freeze?
And Dub, I don't know if he's frozen or if he. Yeah, Dub looks like he's frozen. I don't see any blinking, and I don't see any head movement. I'd say he's frozen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
but anyway,
Dub or Chris, if you want to answer, then Mizzle or me can answer after you.
Well,
I didn't hear the question. I saw everything go down. So Mizzle, go ahead and answer if you heard the question.
Did he say what is it? Did he ask what is another championship to Vegas? What would that mean?
Yeah, with us having 3 and
Yeah.
having 3 championships
I
in a
mean-
very short period of time compared to the
there's
other
nothing
teams.
else. There's nothing else need to be said. Business has been taken care of. It was the Insomniacs have answered, or any team out of Vegas that win. It's been that supremacy. It's almost like you say, what do you tell a person with 2 black eyes? Nothing. They already been told twice. So Vegas did already black 2 eyes. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. I would sum it up kind of differently. I know I like the way you said it, but for me,
it was. I know
No,
that
I
was a
know
little
what you're
harsh,
saying.
but it was.
I know what you're saying though. You got your point across, or should I say, you punched that point across. It's one of those. It's one of those things where I look at it and I think to myself, for what Vegas has done in a very short period of time. Because I think this is we'll be going into our 3rd or 4th season, and I seriously cannot remember. I think it's our 3rd. No, it's our 4th. It's our 4th season. So
2025 will be the 4th.
4th season, yeah. So when I think about that, I'm thinking, okay, in 3 years we've won 2 championships. Now the thing about that is, did we do it too quickly? And that's going to be a question that's asked, because we've seen teams burst onto the scene in other places and in other other segments of sports, and they've come up really quick, played, won championships, and then all of a sudden fizzle out. You don't hear from them or see from them again. Now, I don't think Vegas is going to do that by any stretch of the imagination. I think that this division is going to continue to get stronger. I think guys are starting to understand this game. And the thing about it is, are we going to see more players and more good players come out of woodwork for Vegas and for some of the other teams that are very possible to happen around Vegas? We'll see. Time will tell.
All right. Now, joining us for the show, folks, is the guy that was here at the beginning and was the original moderator for many, many, many episodes and was the first voice of this division. But it wouldn't be a celebration of 100 episodes if we did not have him come on and bless us with a few words from him. The one, the only, Mr. Casey Cox, joining us live on location. Thank you for coming on, Casey. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thanks for inviting me on. How you guys doing?
What's up, man? How you been?
Casey was good.
Good.
What's up, man?
Working. I'm excited for the 100th episode. I didn't even realize we were at 100 until I saw Dub's message, and I was like, well, shit, I better jump on here because this is definitely a celebration, something to be proud of. I helped build this thing from the beginning, and seeing it grow to where it's at now, I'm super excited, super stoked for it, and I love the direction it's going in. So.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. The
when this
direction that we're
idea
starting to
first
see.
came about, just
Go ahead, Dub.
no, go ahead, Chris. No, go ahead. Finish your point.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Casey, take me back to when
I know
they
there's a
approached
little
you with this
latency,
idea to do the other side of the ball. Just take me through your thought process of when you were asked to do that.
Oh, when I was asked to do it, really, it was something that I had been wanting to jump on and do, kind of since I came in and got involved. It was something that I had talked quite a bit about with Derek, but we just weren't quite there and weren't quite ready. We didn't feel to do one, at least not to the quality that we needed to be able to. So we held off on it, and then all of a sudden, out of left field, here comes the 3-on-1 podcast from the East Coast. And week after week after week after week after week, it was East Coast, East Coast, East Coast, East Coast, and no talk about anything of what the A7FL Nevada was doing, what we were doing in Vegas, what they were trying to do in LA. There was no West Coast love at all from from the national side on the East Coast. And Derek finally said, you know what, fuck this. We need to do a show, and it needs to be a response show to what the 3-on-1 is saying. And so we can respond to them and kind of throw our own, West Coast things and what we're doing West Coast in on it. And how do you feel about that? I was like, I love it. I love the idea. Let's go for it. And then we started bouncing names, and we came up with, since it's a response show, the other side of the ball was something that Derek really fell in love with as a name. And when he bounced it on me, I was like, you know what? That fits as a response. We're the other side of the A7FL. We're the other division, the only real other division on the West Coast. So we need to be, the other side of, and so the other side of the ball really made sense. And then we rolled it from there, and we brought on guests, and we brought Chris in and invited Chris to come on with us. And then we invited you on eventually to come on too. And we just kept growing, kept building, and felt like really we became the premier show of the A7FL at one point. So, and I still think to this day that we pretty much are the premier of the A7FL when it comes to podcasts and the way we do our shows. So.
Well, that's a very interesting take. Give me some of your moments that you enjoyed while you were a part of this podcast.
Oh man, to name one or name a few would be really hard to do because, I mean, from the jump, our big thing was we're going to bring on guests from all aspects of the A7FL Nevada, and we're going to showcase what we have here in Nevada. We're going to let these players, tell what they're doing and what they have to do as well. And it was always bringing on good guests that we felt would be beneficial to what we're doing for the A7FL, for what we're trying to promote here. And I don't think there was ever really a bad moment in the show. I mean, it had its technical hiccups like every show does when you build from the beginning, but we found ways around them and found ways to build off of them and just kept going. And we built it into what it is now, and to see where it is now is absolutely great. But again, to say that there's one great moment, I mean, if I'd say there's an interview that stuck out, man, I would honestly, even though it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I would say when we had Ryan DePaul on to kind of explain the A7FL national side of things. I know it blew up and it went south quick, but that was probably one of my more favorite moments. Just he was probably, as far as A7FL wise, one of the biggest names in A7 that we had on, per se, seeing that he's, pretty much the head of the operation.
Well, that certainly was a memorable back and forth as it was being talked about a certain situation, and there was a lot of things that was said and not said. So that definitely was very interesting. Chris, live, you guys got anything?
Oh, to add to the story, or just overall?
Or just anything you want to ask Casey, or anything you want to reminisce with Casey about. Just the floor is yours.
I think overall, man, I think that we've had some fun doing this show. We've had our time. We've even had a couple of times before the show started, especially when we're at the studio, joking around, and then also after the show, joking around a little bit, talking, dare I say, a little ish on some situations, and having those conversations have been fun. So, I mean, you could do this for a job full time and get paid for it, I wouldn't even call it a job. To me, this is just fun. Just being able to have an hour and a half with my boys, hanging out, talking, having fun, and talking a sport that I love.
Very well said.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more, though. That's perfectly said.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, joining us, folks, now, 2-5, be nice. He was invited to come on the show. But joining us from the show.
Hold on. Why you say that, man?
Because I know sometimes you two guys like to go back and forth. So I'm just saying, for this episode, can y'all play nice? Anyhow, folks.
You got a 50-50 shot.
Nonetheless.
Well, joining us from the Jersey Shore, part of the 301 podcast and part of the national broadcast team, helping us celebrate number 100, the one, the only, never at a loss for words, Mr. Corey Hammond. Hello, Corey.
What do you mean, Dub? Me and 2-5 are always vibing, just like the rest of the
Good
Vegas
vibes.
division.
Look, good vibes. Good vibes.
Okay. I just
Yeah,
had to
I
make
don't know
that
what you're talking
PSA.
about.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just
No.
like when KC came on and Chris said something. The first thing KC did after Chris said something was agree with him. As always, it's a great show, reminiscent of all of the episodes of. Listen, as a representative, I don't know. You guys haven't had Matt or Rob on, right? I've been at practice, so
Not in a very well. Out of those three, you have been on the most for sure.
that is true. There's also one of these 100 episodes, guys, is called the Corey Hammond Christmas. And if I was 15 and you gave me the prop bet for an episode of anything having a Corey Hammond Christmas, the chances were 0. So that's a thrill. But let me just say this: as a representative of the 3-on-1, you guys have eclipsed us in episodes and hosts as well. There's a lot. But most importantly, guys, as a representative of a national show, since there is nothing to praise about the Northeast because we haven't won shit in forever, congratulations on a lot of things.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hammond.
Nothing? No.
Very appreciative.
2 cigarettes tonight? Oh, well, I'll do discrimination.
Well,
So
it's not just the Vegas division that's upset with me right now.
Got some stuff going on in the background.
Hold on.
No, so let's talk a little bit of this the unspoken elephant in the room, guys. I know you guys are super happy with Homer Corey and the way that I called the championship game. No?
The people fucking hate you.
No, they don't. Knox, you know better than anybody that when I called the fall,
Corey,
the whole Vegas
Corey,
division
fuck that.
appreciated all
What
the-
comments were you reading? The people fucking hate you. Like dead ass.
well, I don't know why. Because let's be clear. Who
No,
was
listen,
the first national voice to give credence to
Corey,
the Nevada
listen.
division as an entity in the A7FL? Question
No,
mark.
listen. Okay, I feel you. Okay, I feel you. Okay, you have this person. I love it. Okay, I love it. Okay, I've grown accustomed to it. That's why I've literally been laughing this whole fucking time from the moment you started fucking talking, because I've learned to just love it. Right? When you called my games, I loved it. Right? When you talk shit, I kind of hate it. Okay. So
to be fair, Knox, to be fair, when you played, the only time I ever ripped on you is the fall championship, and it wasn't necessarily your fault unless you vacated when you weren't supposed to.
I feel like I called the play.
always been a fan
Hey,
of
look,
Knox.
Corey, look, between me and you, okay, and they can chime in if they want to. Between me and you, for that fall championship, I said I would be wide the fuck open because they're not reading the shit. Let's get the first down and we keep it pushing. But because the play kind of worked in a different way before that, they chose to go the opposite way instead of taking my input. And it's like one of those where I may not know everything, but I'm pretty sure I know how to read certain shit. So if you look at that play and I just hear, which I'm capable of doing,
Well,
we
if they
can
just
keep the game going.
if they just did the play action for the running back to vacate the tight end that was leaving on the corner, it was a corner route, right? Well, anyway, let's not bring it. But to be clear,
Yeah, it's neither here nor there.
in that original fall when it was me and Rob and Matt, we had a lot of fun talking about how you were just that's just Knox. He's not a human being. We have always had an affinity in general for you guys, in general for Derek Duncan, because KC tells the story of how the other side of the ball started. Derek was one of our first guests talking about your guys' division, so I don't know. False narrative? Probably not. We talk our shit. But we were trying to cover Vegas. We were doing our best. You know, Corey Hammond will try. But let's be clear. I think that as a commentator, since I'm on your guys' show and Vegas is the champs, you guys deserve it. I'm sure the comments will light up from this. Let me just make it clear. As I spoke specifically to Zelly Daniels, and maybe the savior of the game in a certain Danye Lyons, who I have the receipts, was my pick of player of the game pre-game, because I said if he could cover Ashanti Worthy, that would be the equalizer. And, you know, he's pretty decent at 3-on-1s, we found out. Let me just
Corey,
say.
hold on, Corey. Look, while we speak on 3, can you just admit that the all around, the 3-on-1 is ass? There's a lot of spectacular shit that happens.
Let's be clear.
You feel me?
Let's be clear.
Not necessarily meaning like it's
and no
ass. Okay, I'll take that back. But it's just a lot of explosive things can happen at any given moment because people don't necessarily take it as serious as they would an offense or a defense. That's what I mean.
And that's like personnel is. I don't think effort's the issue, right? And shout outs to Will Franklin. And I don't know. If he's comparing me to Robin Thicke, I don't know if I should be upset with that. Shout out to Will Franklin.
Maybe he's lost without you.
I can't hit that falsetto though. The Shooter is an underrated song on the Lil Wayne The Carter 2. So go to the deep cuts, my friends. Anybody born, after 2000, you guys listening to mumble rap anyway. The 3-on-1 has always been. Love you too, bro. I don't know. No Diddy, but yes. Will Franklin's my guy. Little known fact, Will Franklin probably throws a better football than I do. I'm just stupid enough to continue to play. 3-on-1 is a game changer, and that's why it's one of the most exciting plays in football. And no disrespect to the guy, but let's be clear. That do or die 3-on-1 situation, full Diddy.
Chris, this is
that
your
do or
fault.
die situation on the 3-on-1. A guy in Isaac Baby Joker Gomez, who on the Animals, his rookie year, was an impact running back and got a lot of touches, decided he wanted to join BIC, and he was going to play his role and do his thing and do what the team asked for him. It was a humble move. Was it a chip-chasing move? Some would say that, but whatever. He was asked all year to be that guy on the 3-on-1 to make the tackle that he missed.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Radcliffe, known as the Nightcrawler when you want to piss him off, or if you really want to piss him off, the joke has always been it's JJ's fault, right? You got to go deep cuts in the A7FL for that too. Number 26, the Nightcrawler, JJ, missed the tackle. And Danye wanted to win the game in that moment more than those guys wanted to execute the maybe meaningless special teams play. Now, Trey Cohen, the other guy on that 3-on-1, year in, year out, it has always taken that job seriously. But when it came down to it, Baby Joker was right there, needed to make a tackle, missed, touchdown, game over. Vegas is a dominant team. They blew out BIC. BIC is ass and trash. Ask Kenny Mack, ask Shuford. That 1-point victory was all they needed to do to say that BIC is the worst team that's ever played football. So, the game could have been decided.
Corey, let me ask you this real quick though. Sure, Isn't it safe to say that it's easier to prepare for a team that you're accustomed to playing, or that you can see, let's just say, on the regular, as opposed to going up against somebody that you're not necessarily accustomed to playing? So it's like we were talking the night before, where we were saying it was going to come down to who was able to make those adjustments. You know what I'm saying?
Then I think that the difference in the game, and I had said this the whole week, and I said this during the broadcast, even though I was too biased to ever give praise to anything that Vegas did. The game to me pregame looked like the Insomniacs were the better team at executing the plan. BIC was the better team at improvisational plays when things start and go and things are moving. And what it looked like is that Sterry Codrington, as great of a quarterback as he's proven to be week in, week out against tough competition, he did not have it in the air. But guess what he had? He had his legs. He made it happen. BIC was able to score a decent amount of points and had a lead late in that game. And if we're being clear, much like the previous championship game, had the game control for most of the game. Now, did they win? No. Does it matter that they had game control? Fuck no. Who cares? But you're lying if you can't admit that the first championship against the Nightcrawlers, most of the game control was Nightcrawlers.
Yeah, but the difference was they were able to pass and
game
run.
control was Insomniacs. But
that was the difference, though. They were able to pass and run.
Who was?
The Nightcrawlers.
Well, the Nightcrawlers were amazingly athletic, and their top echelon players were better than a lot of guys that you'll ever see on a football field. Flag, NFL, whatever. Those guys are great football players.
Touche.
But what happened was the Insomniacs' plan in both of those games worked to perfection. I think the
100%.
most telling play of the entire game, even though the 3-on-1 was really important, even though the interception from Shuford, I always fuck it up. It's Shufford, right?
Shuford.
I gotta put respect in that man's name, so I'm gonna say it correctly. Munchie.
It's Shuford.
It's which way?
Shuford.
From now on, I'll try, but I always double switch it, right? So I got it right, and then I corrected myself because I know I always get it wrong.
Just call Munch.
Munch ended the game on defense with an interception, similar to the way that they won the last game, even with the opportunity for that other team to come back. But to me, the way that the game went, neither team could get the consistent passing game that they thought that they might be able to. And no disrespect to Scott Hamilton, because he continued to.
I don't know that it would have been the same if Scott didn't get hurt. So, I mean, you're also talking about Scott
I was going to mention
possibly
that.
playing the game with a broken hand.
Listen, he got hurt. Before he got hurt, he also wasn't completing that many passes. It is what it is. I'm not saying that I was just about to say that he did get hurt. And to be fair, I also praised that he's more of a man for still going in there, even though he didn't have it, and he was affecting the game by either getting in blocks or the play calling or all the things that he was adding to that game. Because at a certain point, he went from being the quarterback to being the lead blocker, and the adjustment that the Insomniacs made was effective enough to come back on a team that can score a lot, and then also stop the team when they had the ball. But the play that I think changed it was a play that they had set up from the beginning. They went into that Wildcat situation, and they started with RTC, then they go to Juice, and they set it up so that when they needed it, they got the exact look on the kind of, gimmick play, but it was completely planned on that Wildcat pass, because BIC did exactly what they were trained to do by the scheme of the Insomniacs. It's a full run. We just got to stop the run. And because it was effective enough through the game, I don't know if Coach James called it, who probably helped set that up, and that's a big part of that win. To me, the execution from the Insomniacs overcame the improvisation of BIC, and you cannot take away from that group of men that they know how to win, they know how to fight, and they know how to be better. And I gave them shit all year for what they were saying. And maybe they weren't better in both of those championships for all 4 quarters, but nobody gives a shit about the first 3. They were so much better in the fourth quarter of both of those games that they were undeniable champions. And that's why they brought the chip from Asbury Park back home to Vegas. And yes, did I call that they were going to lose the sick with it? Sure. But it woke them up. They got right back in gear. And all of the things that we expect from them, they were able to deliver. And even when their quarterback couldn't affect the game as a passer, and the pass rush was different than what he had faced all year, we weren't incorrect on that. It still didn't matter because he was still a champion enough to continue to affect the game one way or the other. And you gotta give your hat off to a quarterback that just wins. Who cares how he does it? Scott Hamilton's a winner.
No, I think the whole team's a winner. I think that.
So, Corey, let me ask you this.
Sure.
So earlier we kind of asked a question, and I'll just ask you since you are out there on the East Coast. If the Insomniacs were to three-peat next season in 2025, what would you think? How would that mess with the psyche of the teams and the players back in the Northeast? if that were to happen, because
Well,
obviously if
first
they
of
were to
all-
three-peat, that
first
would
of
tie
all-
them with you for the most titles with 3.
Well, listen, that ship sailed, bro. Because last year on the Nevada Facebook page, big time names in Jersey were already saying, look, yeah, watch what's going to happen next year. And there's some of my guys. There's some of the guys that everyone respects in the league. And last year, Vegas put the league on notice. And what was the narrative coming out of the Instagram shows and all of the guys that don't necessarily watch as much film as I do, as much film as Rob does, as much film as Matt does? What was the narrative? Yo, guys didn't play nobody, man. Yo, they got the easy route. All this other, right? That's what the narrative was, correct? Right or wrong?
That is correct.
And I never heard the Insomniacs duck competition.
Sure.
It is what it is. They face the Chaos. They face the Nightcrawlers. Both Jersey teams lost. The Northeast team that represented Baltimore played well, but lost to the Nightcrawlers. Can't say shit. Now, they were talking a lot,
Correct.
but were they really saying anything? No. So to answer your question, what would a three-peat do? Not much more than it already has, because last year at this time, there was talk about how is New Jersey going to set things, air quotes, right? And Derek talks about it all the time. The amazing thing about Vegas is it's one city. Now, how many all-star teams or championship level teams do you guys have out in that division?
Maybe possibly one with aspirations other than the Insomniacs.
Well, I would say Insomniacs, sick,
agree.
right? And then the Force, pretty close. I wouldn't say they're that far. I wouldn't say they're that far.
Not that far off.
Right? How many teams are
No, they're not.
championship legitimate contenders in the Northeast? Maybe 3. And we're talking about a whole side of a country versus one city. Now, that's impressive enough. But what I think is more impressive is that in the repeat year, whether it was the coaching, the culture, the structure, or the fact that most of the Insomniacs are that high IQ level type of guy in football where they're coaching, they're lifelong football guys. I get into all these wars on that Vegas flag site with guys that are too scared to play A7FL, but want to piggyback on the Insomniacs for actually doing the thing. They play flag. They play indoor. These guys have played semi-pro. Some of these guys are D1 guys. Some of them are D3 guys. Some of them are just career football guys that come over from overseas. The fact is that the Vegas guys at the top level know how to play football, and you guys know how to humbly come together as a team. And you can say what you want about the Insomniacs, but BIC loaded up. The U seemed like a stacked team trying to win. Now, the U's upset that Huff got hurt. That's their fault for putting him on a throw-off. The Nightcrawlers didn't want to show up to a game in Jersey, and flights were an excuse. But at the end of the day, the Insomniacs didn't let all of the things that can impede a champ to repeat, and they deserve all the credit in the world, whether I was biased on the call or not. And I don't know if this show, The Other Side of the Ball, knows anything about being biased and homers to guys in their own state. Maybe I'm off base, but have you guys ever criticized the Insomniacs? Forgive me for rooting for my New Jersey guys.
No, hey, Corey, I think
rooting for your sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people forgot was that the fact of the Insomniacs, when you really break it down, and if you really know the team, in a sense, they're family first, real life. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that's what they pitch. You feel me? They're a family first. So what makes you closer before you even step on the field? If you know the person that's next to you, that's what makes it even easier. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the fact that they knew how to, let's just say how we said the night before, they knew how to adapt because they were able to come together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they've only been an A7FL team for 2 years, but
Yeah,
Like
they've
you
been
said,
the A7FL team
they've
for
been
2 years, but they've
teammates.
been around each other
Yeah.
for goddamn almost 10 plus. You
For
feel
years.
me?
And
So
that's
it's one of those where it makes the communication easier. Like you said, BIC, they went and picked up guys. These other teams went and picked up guys. The guys that they picked up because they trusted in whatever, or the people that they picked up trusted in whatever they was doing. You know what I'm saying? To where they were able to join into the family system.
well, I'll tell you what the biggest pickups for me were mid-season when that Flag lead folded, because Flag is always sus and questionable anyway. Just eat it, Flag guys. You never have to get tackled. You can talk all the shit you want. I still talk shit and play in a tackle league, so I'll keep talking shit. You guys keep talking shit and see if there's any repercussions ever. Since he won't get tackled, probably not.
What's up, Corey? Hey, so who you playing with this next season?
I don't break that on this show. Come on, that's what I have my show for.
Yeah, what's
Listen,
up?
I
Come
don't even know,
on,
bro. Let's be
who you playing with next season?
Let's be fair. Is there even a team that wants me? So who knows?
Of course, there is a few teams that love the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
okay?
OTT wants me, and I'm not lying.
Nah, hey, you might be able to get it. Go ahead over there and get a job with the stealth.
Yeah, or the Buzz called me one time. It's like, I'm not driving to Baltimore. Chill.
No, hey, look, as long as
Man,
it's
anybody
not
wants to
100,
lose a lot of games, I got a good resume for that recently. So anyway, I'm not to be talked about on a show about Vegas and the champions. You could stress me out about my commentary.
This isn't about Vegas and the champions. This is about
the other side of the ball. 100. This is
about 100th episode.
Well,
and
not
us
breaking
showing
news.
that we
So
can
sorry,
have
guys.
a genuine conversation and still show our love for each other. You feel me? I'm just interested. I want to know where you're taking your talents.
Listen, when I know, how about this? When I know, you guys will know. Lots of moving parts, because I'll say this: that championship might affect the Northeast and the New Jersey division more than we could even assume right now.
How
Because those
involved?
guys are licking their wounds and they're trying to figure out what happened.
I was just going to say, how involved are you over there? Like, do you know a lot?
When I want to, I know. When I don't, I can turn it off and listen. Like, I've kind of been radio silent. There's a rumor that I've been fired from the league, but I still talk to Derek. I'm still trying to, push this thing. And I know that my existence in the league has held the league back. But that's, like I said, if I wasn't involved in the league, and this is my sincere apology. If I wasn't involved in the league, we wouldn't have been on Pat McAfee. It would be Donald Trump on his presidential stage at the RNC.
Hey, look.
But we could all look forward to that.
Look, that's why I say shout out to you and joining the Other Side of the Ball Network. You feel me? But you feel me? Check it out. I see you. All right.
Well, and what I think the Other Side of the Ball and the Vegas Network, what we're going to try to bring, and this is a good way to drop that news. And Casey and Derek, they're listening, even though they're muted. They're listening. They're locked in.
No, 100%.
There's a lot of voices around the league that I think would add a lot of intrigue, mixing and matching and getting these competing opinions and takes. And look, it doesn't even have to just be about the goings on right now, but I'm looking forward to what Vegas does in their winter war, because fall brawl in December, we all know it's not fall. I like that it's branded. I like that it's new. And unless it's 50 degrees and a slight wind and you guys freeze to death, it's going to be great football. So what I will say this, and I do have to go, guys, because I'm already in the doghouse.
With a slight wind.
Listen, we already talked about the Canadian on the panel. You can deal with a little bit of cold, but I heard the commentary last year's fall brawl, and there was a stiff breeze, and it was like 43. And it sounded like guys were going to die of hypothermia. I don't know. Maybe they were fighting through it. But to be fair, you guys deal with 120, most summers. So fuck if I know. Shit.
It's great about it's great about doing this show and having a little control is being able to mute mics. And that way we can hear each other and unmics and do that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass, but it's nice to be able to do that stuff sometimes when you need to talk. But what I was gonna say
Listen, I
was,
need it.
Corey,
I need it. Mute me.
I think that the overall, I mean, you know, watching the game, watching you guys call the game, I don't know, man. The only thing that I could say negative was, and I wasn't trying to get at you about anything. I text you and say, hey, what was the feeling on the field after the game? Because I couldn't watch it. I truly was not able to see it anymore. It actually took me completely off the internet. It wouldn't let me finish watching the end. I watched the end of the game. I watched the score. I watched the clock run out, and then boom, it was gone. So when I text you and say, hey, what's going on the field, is because I couldn't see anything and I didn't hear back from you. And
Yeah,
not a
honestly,
knock. Don't take it as
no.
such. That's not what
And
I'm
to be
trying to say.
fair, I didn't
Not
have
what I'm
my
trying to
phone
say.
on me.
What I'm trying to say is
Go
I
ahead.
didn't see until afterwards. Well, no, I didn't see until afterwards on a replay all the stuff that was going on the field. But I got to say, man, look, the fact of loving your home teams are something that I think everybody should do. And you have a lot of people that don't. And I'm glad that you love your teams and you should show love for your home teams. And if somebody has a problem with that, so be it. Now, you asked us if we ever knocked the Insomniacs, and I think we did when they had their loss. Now, do you want us to drag them through the mud? You guys don't do that on the 3-on-1 when you have a team that has had a loss that is a disheartening loss. You don't drag them through the mud.
Well,
We didn't
listen.
drag them through the mud.
You
So
should
the
hear
fact of the matter
preseason.
is,
Go ahead. My bad.
well, I was going to say the fact of the matter is when you look at some of the breakdowns and some of the stuff we talk about when there's situations, yeah, we're going to praise the Insomniacs because they are the champions. It's just like when you get sick and tired of hearing about Kansas City Chiefs. You want to stop hearing about the Kansas City Chiefs? Beat them. Don't let them get back to the Super Bowl,
Beat 'em.
and don't let them win the damn Super Bowl. And everybody stop talking about them. Simple as
And
that.
everybody will stop talking about Taylor
So
Swift too.
the fact that we talk about the Insomniacs and some of the guys get upset, hey, you didn't talk about me enough. You know what? We'll talk about you from every play. But does that also mean that you want us to talk bad about you when you make a bonehead play or when you make a bad play? I mean, a lot of guys don't want that. They want their flowers when they make a good play, but they don't want to hear any derogatory stuff when they make a bad play. And I think that's the part that you have from both sides. But I also think that, I can understand how somebody could feel a certain way when somebody is being, as you said, a homer about their team. Hey, you know what? You were up in this was happening in your backyard, so I get it. Totally.
Well, let me be clear. And I had talked to certain guys, and I will take ownership of what I was doing. What I was doing was I was playing a bit and a character and a role. But to be fair, just to go through, the 100 episodes of this show, because it's the 100th episode, but also we're revisiting the Will Franklin praise, my guy. But we're going over the history of this show and kind of the Vegas division because it kind of followed the show a little bit. I was big into, because I had seen it in person. I had called the entire fall. I had always been an advocate for the Vegas teams, the Vegas division. And I try to, my role in the league, especially on the national stage, is to try to champion the teams that aren't the championship contenders, right? Rob's the guy with the hardware. He's going to tell you just very simply if you're ass or if you're nice, right? And then I try to break down games and give, credence to the guy that's making big plays out there that isn't necessarily on the winning team, all that. But what's up, Derek? Let me say this. I went out on a limb and I supported guys that I either played with for BIC, because I used to play for BIC, played against for over a decade, blah, 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 right? I was a New Jersey guy, and I've never not been a New Jersey guy. Even, let's be honest, I've taken a lot more shit than you guys have tried to give me in this offseason from the guys in New Jersey, because I will praise you guys on the national show or the Insomniacs or Sick With It. I'll say Sick With It is better than this team. and then I have to, get suplexed by the freight train from the Baltimore Watchmen, or John Columbia's Psycho X will DDT me because I said that the Insomniacs are the number one team. I've eaten the my words for Vegas. So when the
Truth is the
narrative
truth.
started to shift that I was a Glazer and this and that and all that, you know what? I leaned into it heavy. And for a time, I looked like I was going to be victorious in the situation. Now, did it backfire and was I absolutely fucking wrong? I deserve all of the negativity that I get, especially from the Vegas Flag Facebook page, from all the guys that
They
are
fucking
now
hate you.
piggybacking on the Insomniacs championship, even though they don't play in the A7FL A or B, have ever played with the Insomniacs, even in Flag.
Oh, look, hang on.
But
Whoa,
I
whoa, whoa,
digress.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me jump in.
Sure.
I think what you're misinterpreting is Vegas actually has fans. Right? So when we say
I pissed them
just
off.
like
Yeah,
when I'm talking about my Detroit Lions, we are going to do this. That's what they're talking about in the A7 Flag page, because we
Hold
have
on.
real
Derek.
fans out here in Vegas.
Derek,
People
your
who really
team
give a
is
shit
so
about this A7 shit.
I didn't never know that.
And when Rob says we about BIC or the U, what do I say to him?
Like, you don't play for them no more.
You don't fucking play for them. Shut up.
So Corey, one more question.
Absolutely. And then I do have to go. So I love the one more.
Where did the lisp come from? That's new the last 2 or 3 times we've had you on the show.
No, you know what it is? It's this phone. I'm going to use the same excuse Donald Trump did. It's this phone. For whatever reason, when I'm on the phone, it's not clear. Normally, when I have the headphones in, it's not the lisp, it's the breathing. So I'll talk I'll talk for an hour straight, and then I'll have to and then you'll hear it on the broadcast that Matt has to get rid of the breath. For whatever reason, I sound garbled on this, but you know what? Me and Donald Trump are lisping. Maybe I have dementia too. I don't know.
I thought maybe you lost a tooth or something. Like you're not showing your bottom teeth anymore when you talk.
Not yet.
Right.
I haven't had to play a Vegas team after calling that chip, but we don't know what the future holds.
So you're saying you're gonna get a chipped tooth?
I hope not. No, I got fake teeth already in the front.
Your
So-
mouthpiece should be okay.
That's what it is.
No, if anything, I think it's the phone, but maybe it'll just add some flavor and character to the voice that everybody already hates over there.
I don't think anybody hates you. I think they're just calling you out.
And I deserve it, so I'll eat it. And especially from the guys like what's his name, Daniel Oakley, or what is that? Is that a guy?
The Oaks, yeah.
And no, listen, and he plays for Sick, right?
No, he most recently played for the Gold.
He played for the Pit Bosses in that fall. Not a bad player. I've seen his film, but apparently he loves flag. So what do you guys think? Is Duchette better a quarterback than Pat Mahomes? I don't know.
I think he might be a better flag quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
I'll tell you what, he does those ridiculous up and down electric slide moves. He does them better than Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
and he doesn't throw a bad ball. He doesn't.
I think if you gave Patrick Mahomes 4 weeks to practice that shit, he'd probably excel at it and do very.
I think if you gave Patrick Mahomes a football and NFL wide receivers covered by Yusin Wei from China, it's just going to be a fucking touchdown. I don't care what the. So I don't know.
Look, I figure we got 20 years of being able to just gloat and dunk on everybody and internationally until they finally start to catch up, and then it'll be like basketball's been.
Listen, the NBA grew after the Dream Team.
Exactly.
Not after the collegiate amateurs went over to the Olympics and played fundamental. Put some stars out there, and tell Duchette when he's 6'2", 215, that he can absolutely stand in an NFL locker room and try that jumping and that sliding and that dipping stuff. See how that works.
Look, I want to see him compete to make the team. I think as long as there's an open tryout and you have some guys playing against each other and he makes the team, then he's on the fucking team. Let's not just
listen. I think he's great at flag football, and I think it would be disrespectful to keep him off of the Team USA. But tell me where in professional sports it says that life is fair.
I think in professional sports, everyone is supposed to get a fair shot at a job, and tryouts are tryouts.
Well, tell that to Kirk Cousins when he got traded out of the Washington when he was a better player than RG3, but because RG3 got drafted earlier, Kirk Cousins had to continue to ask, "Do you like that?" Because he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure.
Right. Well, we won't fall in the whole Kirk Cousins trap because he wasn't even a captain on his team in Michigan State. I digress.
Listen, all I'm saying is that, you know, if it was about wins and losses, Tim Tebow would still be in the goddamn league. He was fucking amazing for the Broncos that one year. As much as
and they never let him start at quarterback again. That's wild.
He beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Right?
No, it was a home game. It was in Denver.
Oh, it was. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't Denver, but he still beat the Steelers.
Who was it that couldn't play?
Demaryius Thomas was the one who scored.
Who was the cat who couldn't play because he had the sickle cell and he couldn't go into the
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark.
Yeah, Ryan Clark, who's now one of the best broadcasters on ESPN Air. Love that guy.
He's the only one that makes sense on ESPN talking NFL.
Is Chris frozen or he's just not moving?
What is that? Are you talking about like that psychic thing? What's ESP?
No, I said Ryan Clark is the most.
I know. Fuck them. I don't even watch. I'm not. Listen, I did Dub and Mizzle's show. Man, I don't got time for that league. This league's better. Anyway, guys, first of all, a heartfelt congratulations on a lot of things. Back-to-back chips. Throwing shit in my fucking face because fuck me, right? But also 100 episodes of the other side of the ball. Listen, the best ability is availability. And if I want to piss off my wife on a Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific.
You know where to be every fucking week.
And you guys too, the fans at home. And shout out to Will Franklin. That's my guy. Anyway,
thank you, Corey.
He hit you with the Robin Thicke shit. That hair's looking nice, bro.
Well, I don't know what this alfalfa thing though is. I'm trying to get it down.
It's Robin Thicke as fuck.
No. Well, let me not in reference to that show, the Real Husbands of Hollywood or whatever it's called. Let me go be a Mitch and let me go be a Mitch and eat my bullshit from talking to you guys and not taking care of helping my wife.
I don't know, man. That sounds too much like let me go be a bitch.
Tell Jess
Thank you, Corey.
No, you never saw the show. That's what it is. A man bitch, a Mitch.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
It was a joke about the show.
Yes. Well, tell Jess I said thanks for letting you hang. I appreciate it. And
she will. She's gonna ask you how much I got paid for the episode. So just lie to her.
Okay, you got it.
Other
Thank
side
you,
of the
Corey.
ball, continue the good work.
Asta.
That was never at a loss for words. Corey Hammond coming in and celebrating with us this 100th episode. So as we put a bow and a wrap on number 100, first off, I hope the visit went well, boss. We know you had to handle business for a second, so I hope that went well.
Hey, look, they didn't take the fucking kid. We're all right.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Mission accomplished.
All right. But
just as long as they don't watch
but want to
show,
say
we're okay.
But want to say thank you to Corey Hammond for coming on and giving us some time. Appreciate Josh Pinero, the Opera Javos, for coming on and giving us some time. Appreciate Casey Cox coming on and giving us some time.
There he is.
Of us. Speaking of Mr. Cox, he has returned. So one last final thought before we put a bow and a wrap on number 100, Casey. Since you are our guest, we will let you have.
Casey look like he in the hotel. Who you in the hotel with?
I've got kids.
Hey, I like that background. That's a nice headboard.
Hey, Casey, he said, parting shot, brother.
Soon to be a Knox's show.
I like that headboard.
Hey, man, I'm just glad to see this thing get to 100 episodes. I'm glad to see the A7FL Nevada keep growing the way it is, and I'm ready for fall. Let's get it.
All right. Short and to the point. But again, Casey, we appreciate you coming on and celebrating 100 with us because, again, you were here along with Derek as it originated. You, Derek, and Chris, helped build this thing. So we definitely appreciate you coming on and giving us the time and reminiscing. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me on. Later.
Thank you, sir. All right. 2-5. Since you have one of the greatest segments in the history of the show, your final thoughts on number 100.
I would just want to thank everybody, starting off with Derek, Nick, for originally even wanting to bring me on. You feel me? Shout out to you guys for even taking me in with welcoming arms, you feel me, and letting me be myself, but also know that I'm not meaning, nothing bad by it, So definitely shout out to you guys and love you guys with the utmost. And of course, I'm always looking forward to what we do next, and definitely going to start getting more in tune.
Let me just say, Knox division manager does not bring it as hard as Knox the guest. But hey, we love you too, dog. You're an absolute fucking joy to have on the show, man. I kind of do miss the old energy, but it's good the energy you bring when you are on here. It's always a blessing to have you on this shit. You're my dog. I love having you on here, brother. Thank you for blessing us.
I appreciate you. You already know. Wait.
Senior Vera.
Look, when we first started this thing, or should I say when Derek first started this thing and then I jumped into it, it was a great thing. When we went over to the studio and we had things kind of put together, it was a lot of fun. Adding Knox just brought even more fun to it, brother. And I'm so glad that you're a part of this. It is great to have you around. You bring energy like nobody has ever brought when it comes to the show, when it comes to seeing you out on the field. I mean, it is a lot of fun, man. And I'm glad that you're part of this and we get to spend a little time together because I appreciate that greatly. But overall, man, my final thoughts are real simple. Hell of a season that we just had. Can't wait for 2025. I know Fall Brawl's coming up. I want to see what teams come out, what teams are going to show up and show out, and what new players we have that will come out and play and, bring this to the next level. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to it. D's been my boy for 30 years. Nothing's going to change that. And I enjoy the time that we spend together. So this is a lot of fun to me. Like I said, it's not work. It's just a bunch of fellas talking shit, having a lot of fun, telling you football from our perspective here on the West Coast. So I appreciate it all, man. I appreciate all of you that join us for this podcast, and of course everybody who sits on the panel.
Hey, look, my Wi-Fi dropped out for a minute, so I missed part of what you said right when you was giving me flowers. But I know you always get my back, Chris, and I thank you for the support you've thrown us. You've been here day one, the fucking day zero, dog. You're my fucking dog for life, bro. I appreciate you. 100 episodes is fucking wild. I hadn't thought past episode 10 when we first started this shit. So you've been with us the whole time, man, and I appreciate you and love you for it.
Appreciate that, man.
Miz.
Well, just starting off as a fan, watching you guys talk, it's been awesome. Just to love to hear about and to give me a different perspective of the A7 to now being a part of this. I just can't thank you guys enough, especially you, Derek, man, for opening up the door to allow me to do this again, like with Dub, Chris, 2-5. I had a ball out there in Vegas when I came out there to witness live. I can't wait to see what this league is going to take off to become because I see that the future is bright for it. I just appreciate you guys, man. You guys make me feel like I've been knowing you guys for 10 fucking years, so let's continue it, man. Love it. Again, thanks, Derek, man. Really appreciate you, man.
Let me just go on record and say I love all you motherfuckers thanking me for working for free. This is amazing.
Well, I'll try.
I could not be more thrilled.
If
I'll
that's a
I'll, I'll
special
try to
way of
keep
saying
this
fucking thank
brief.
you, I'll take it.
That's how
Miz,
you know
like,
somebody out
look,
here is a millennial.
I'll try to keep this brief. I had the privilege of joining this. What was that?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I had the privilege. I had the privilege of joining this podcast on episode 31. And I was just being a part of the panel. Then to transition from being a panelist to being a host was something I didn't think was going to happen because I was just privileged to just have a small piece, have a small part of it. As I've said many times, I am forever in debt to Kevin Perry because it was through Kevin Perry that I got the chance to meet Derek Duncan, and because of that, I now have the opportunity that I have right now. So I can never really say in words how appreciative and grateful that I am to have this opportunity to, as I always like to say, harness my craft and obviously, shoot for the biggest goals that I have. But like I said, just to be a part of this league and just to see just how much these players love to just play for the love of it, and just to see the absolute joy when you see accomplishments just like the Insomniacs going back to back and just seeing the sheer joy and jubilation of how they put in the work, they grind, they do this, all that, and they just seemingly just find ways to get it done. I'm anxious to see if we can have a first 3P champion in this league as we go into year number 11 when it starts in 2025. Of course, interesting to see how the Winter Clash is going to play off. Interesting to see just all these things, but like, to top off what Chris said,
Winter War.
it's been the honor of my life. Winter War, I'm sorry. But it's been the privilege and honor of my life to work with you, fine gentlemen, and to share this platform and share the stage with you, fine gentlemen. Anxious to see what the good Lord has in store moving forward. But it's only right and it's only fair because this was his idea that Derek Duncan closes us out and takes us home.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say I didn't know this was episode 69 for you, Dub.
Really?
You said 31. You started episode 31.
I did.
Wow. Hey, Dub, it's going to have to be 68 because I'll have to owe you one.
Paying homage to the Vikings, Scott McCorkle. Scotty, we miss you, buddy.
Look, Dub, to give you your flowers quickly before I sign off and then you take us home. People have said multiple times on this show, the most important ability is availability. And one of the most important things is consistency. And you have been the most consistent motherfucker that I have dealt with since I stepped into this A7 shit. And you deserve every bit of those flowers, man. You are always there every time we need you. There for other people when I tell you not to be because you're being paid by me and not working for the motherfuckers, and you still show up for them too. Dude, you bring the shit every fucking time, and this show isn't what it is without your hook in here doing what you do for us. So thank you for being a part of what we do. The only motherfucker that gets paid for this shit. So my guy. So for me, 100 episodes is fucking wild, man. Like I said, I when I first put this shit together, I didn't even anticipate really 10 episodes. I didn't never think about the consistency. This whole shit came together originally to be, oh, what's up? This shit came together originally as a reaction show to the 3-on-1 podcast. Literally, they would record on Tuesday or on Monday. They drop their show on Tuesday. We listen to it, be mad as fuck, and respond on Wednesday. So that's why our show was on Wednesdays. They started recording on Tuesday and then putting their show up on Friday. And by then we had games over the weekend. So there was nothing to respond to for what they said on Friday. We didn't give a shit. We were talking about the games. So this show morphed into its own thing, its own content. And now I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, but what it is we are the podcast for the A7FL. The 3-on-1's not around consistently. We are. And by being consistent. Thanks to Dub, thanks to Chris, thanks to Mizzle, thanks to Live with 2-5. We are here every week putting the shit on, and we've got a contingency and a following, and we're helping A7 grow. So this show has started off as a response show and has now become the show for A7. So I appreciate every one of you motherfuckers for what you do. Our fans, I'll shout out to Zelly, who's here every week. Travis Gallardo is here every week. Will Franklin is almost always here. Marcel Bridges down in Florida, that's here almost every week. I don't think he's on this week. Vanilla Vic, when he's on, he ain't been here very much, but for like the first 5-6 months when he left, he was here a lot. Just everybody who is a consistent contributor. And then, of course, thank you to the Insomniacs for putting the Vegas division all the way on the map after the Force paved the road. But I'm just here to say I'm grateful. I'm fucking floored that we're here, and I'm gonna tell you the next 100 episodes is going to be way liver than the first 100. So big plans for this shit. We're working behind the scenes to make A7 great every day. Not great again, but great every day. We're Mage, not MAGA. We're Mage. But I love you guys. Thank you for what you bring. Thank you for the energy. I appreciate that shit. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being a part of what we do.
All right. Well, you too, brother.
Well, on that note, again, for Scott McCorkle, who this show does not flow without him and his randomness. Like I said, Scotty was
dude, you know what? We missed the fucking Viking, man.
Yeah.
Like he was you were the moderator, Chris was the straight man, and he was the fucking craziness, bro. That when the shit was just the three of you guys, that was fun. Like I missed that element. We need that energy of that guy or somebody like him. I mean, I know Knox could do it, but he's division manager, so he's trying to stop from stepping on people's nuts because that's what he's supposed to do. But Mizzle, you got that in you?
Hey, whatever you need from me, boss, I'll try.
Right, well, hey, look, I don't need you to be the heel, but you can be the agitator. Like, stir the shit up.
Okay. All right.
Something.
I don't call him asshole for no reason.
Well, you could be the Blacking. You could be the Black Viking, the Blacking.
I like it. I like it.
But nonetheless, folks, for Scotty in his absence, which we miss you, buddy, for Live with 2-5, for Chris Vera. Again, special thanks to Josh Berneda, special thanks to Casey Cox, special thanks to Corey Hammond, special thanks to my brother from another missile from joining us, and of course, Derek Duggan. Also, appreciation to Nick Blaze, who helped produce a lot of this stuff. Can't forget about him, nor his son, Pierce, aka Pierre, for all of his contributions to the show.
Blaze and Janelle, too. Right.
Yes,
they fucking brought this shit to prominence. Like, they put this shit on their back and made it hot. If it wasn't for them, it would have never been hot. So that's real.
Also, again, one more appreciation shout out to Quan59 for allowing us to use the studio for many, many episodes. For giving us his insight and using his platform to help promote. To everyone that has watched, been on as a guest, called in, whatever contribution you've done to the show, we just simply appreciate you guys for riding with us. And here we go, 100 episodes, and who's talking ish now?
No one's talking ish. They're translating.
Okay, there we go. Translation. All right. But anyhow, from all of us here at Ace NFL Nevada, for all of us here on the other side of the ball, as we celebrate episode 100, we thank you for joining us. We love all you guys, and we'll see you next week for episode 1-on-1, and we'll see you on the other side of the ball.